So let's continue operators in Java. Yesterday we were talking about operators in Java and we were having just overall idea. And today I will discuss operators in Java in depth. Okay. So before starting it, let me tell you the types of operators. So first of all, we will discuss unary operators. Unary. What are unary operators? Students, there are three types of operator on the basis of number of operands. As number of operands is only one, means there is only one variable on which the operation will take place, then it is known as unary operator. Like sometimes we write a plus plus. So whatever effect will occur, that will occur over this variable a. And the operator which we have used, that is plus plus. It is known as increment operator. It is postfix increment operator. One is uh, prefix increment operator also, like plus plus a. You can also write it like this. So students, this is we are talking about unary operator. Only one operand is there. Okay, and if we write a plus b, so here we have two operands and one operator. So it is known as binary operator. Binary means two operands are there. One operand is there, it means it is unary operator. Okay, unary means single. Clear? And now we will talk about ternary operator also. It means ternary means three. It means three operands are there. Let's see. Condition. In ternary operator, first of all we write the condition. Thereafter we put the question mark. Thereafter, if the condition becomes true, then true part will return, colon, false part. False part will be returned. So this is known as ternary operator. In ternary operator, we use one question mark and one colon sign. So a plus plus or plus plus a, we can write like this. These are unary operators, and means if the number of operand will be one, then that type of operators we will call unary operators. In this way, we have some operators. Let me tell you. This plus plus, like a plus plus, unary operator, plus plus a. This is prefix. This is postfix. Minus minus a minus minus. We can write like this. And after this, we have this symbol also. This symbol is known as tilde sign. TILD, tilde. What it is used for? It is used in bitwise operators. It is bitwise operator, and we write like this. This is for negation, for negative values. So we use this tilde sign. This is known as tilde symbol. And one more, exclamation mark. It is always used after the Boolean expression. If any Boolean expression is there, actually it is a logical operator, but it is unary as per number of operand. Only one operand is there, one value is there on which it will affect. That's why it is known as unary operator. Okay, students, let's move. So these are known as unary operators. Okay. Now we will talk about arithmetic operators. before arithmetic operators, let me tell you about this a plus plus or plus plus a. These are known as prefix and postfix. If we are writing a plus plus, it means whatever the value of a is right now, it will increase by 1. Let's see. It means that a equal to a plus 1. Means if value of a is 2 right now and I'm writing a plus plus, it means whenever I will print a, what value will be printed? It will print 3. Okay. So this is the benefit. And whenever we write, sorry, I wrote in wrong manner. Prefix is plus plus a and postfix is a plus plus. Students, listen carefully and see over here. If we are using this plus plus symbol after the variable, it means it is postfix. If we are using these symbols before the variable, it means it is prefix. Very simple. And the meaning of both is same. Means increment of 1 will be there in both cases. In prefix also, and in postfix also. The same thing will happen. Then what is the difference? That I will tell you. Don't worry. Suppose, listen carefully, there are two variables. One is x and one is a. And the value of a is 2. Clear? Now what I'm saying x equal to plus plus a. I'm using prefix. Then what will happen? First of all, increment will happen and then it will assign the value. So what will happen? The value of a will increase first. So the value of a is 2 right now, it will become 3. And when it will become 3, then it will assign to this x. And when we will print the x, 3 will be printed. What will be printed? 3 will be printed. Now come to postfix. Now if I am writing x equal to a plus plus. Students, don't worry if you don't understand anything right now. This video will be available for you in my channel and it will be available for you so you can watch it again. If you don't understand a particular topic, and you can ask me the questions later on also. So don't bother about it. X equal to a plus plus. Now what will happen? First of all, it will assign the value. Then it will increase the value. So what will happen? The value of a is 2. So 2 will be assigned and then the increment will take place. So what will happen? The value of x will be 2 only. When we will print the value of x, only 2 will be printed. And if we print the value of a, then 3 will be printed. Okay, students? Excuse me. Students, is it clear to you all? Very good. Prefix, postfix, done. Now we move to the second type of operators, arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are used for arithmetic operations. Arithmetic operations you know very well, like the mathematical operations we do. We do the addition, we do the subtraction and multiplication, division, all these x we do. And they are of two categories. One is multiplicative and the another category is additive. So in multiplicative category we have multiply symbol. This is known as asterisk symbol, asterisk. And in Java, many students make a mistake in whenever they write the program in the notebook. They sometimes, as they have practice of math, so they make this cross symbol. This X they make whenever they do want to do the multiplication. But students, trust me, I'm telling you, if you will use this symbol, then it will be wrong and your marks will be deducted. So don't use this symbol whenever you are writing a Java program. Whenever you want to multiply, you must use this asterisk symbol only. And it is not very tough. As you make this cross symbol, just make one line in between. And what will happen? It will convert into asterisk sign. Okay, students? Now, forward slash is used for division, and modulus symbol is also used for division, but in the answer you will get the remainder. In this, by using this particular symbol, this forward slash, you will be able to get the quotient. But using this modulus operator, you will be able to get the remainder part. Okay, students? And in additive, you know the plus symbol and the minus, the negative sign. What it is used for, you know very well. Whenever you want to subtract anything, you can use it. And I think you understood it very well. I'm telling you only one thing for using this division operator and this modulus operator. So listen that carefully. Suppose there are two variables or two values are there. I'm writing a statement A equal to 5 divided by 2 and B equal to 5 mod 2. So what will be the answer? What will be the values of A and B? Listen carefully. If I'm dividing 5 by 2, then in the case of A, what will I get? 2 2s are 4, remainder is 1. The value of A will be 2. This will be the value of A. And in case of B, 5 modulus 2, then I'm dividing 5 by 2. The same values are there. So 2 2s are 4, and in the remainder we are getting 1. So value of B is 1. Okay, students, you understood? 13 viewers are present here. I'm waiting for more. I hope it is clear to you all. Good. Now let's move to the next type of operators. Multiplicative, additive, completed. Arithmetic operators are completed. Okay? Now the next is relational operator. Students, today I will teach you some new operators also which are not given in your book, and they are given in some advanced books. So I will explain it properly. So watch this video carefully, every topic. So relational operators are of two categories. One is comparison category and another is equality. In comparison category, we have less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, and one more, instance of. Now this instance of operator where we use, I will tell you, don't worry. In equality we have two. One is equal sign and one is not equal. Okay. So let's see. If the value of A is 2 and B is 4. Okay. So what will I do? If I will write A is less than B. Okay. Then what will be the answer? So whatever the answer you want to hold, that answer all will always be in Boolean type. Means whenever you will use these relational operators, only two type of answers you will get, two type of values you will get. Only two type of values can be returned. I'm sorry, two values can be returned, not two type of. Only one type of value can be returned, and that type is Boolean type. And Boolean type of values are two. One is true, another is false. So either we will get true or we will get false. That's it. So if A is less than B, so it will simply check the condition, and I should have a variable of Boolean type, Boolean X. I'm using a variable. You can write this condition in if block also. That is also possible. Mostly we do the same. We write this type of condition in if block, in else if block. But here I'm using simple variable to hold this value. So I can do this task in this manner also. Okay. You might not have done like this, but see this new way. If I'm writing A is less than B, if the condition is true, means A is 2 and B is 4, obviously the condition is true, the value of X will be true. Okay. If I'm writing here A, value of A is 12 and value of B is 4, and I'm saying A is less than B, then the condition is false obviously, so the value of X will be false. It is very simple. Okay, I hope you have understood it properly. The same thing applies with this less than, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, and not equal to. Here, this will also return. If I'm saying A is not equal to B, then the condition will be true, because whatever value will be of 12, whatever value will be of B, A and B can have different type of values. It doesn't matter. But if these values are not same, then it will always return true. If the values are same, it will return false. Okay. And if you want to check the equality, then use this equal, double equal symbol. It will return true only when these value will be equal. I hope it is clear. Now let me tell you this instance of operator where we use it. Listen, students. You know, we make objects of the class. Okay, like we have made an object of scanner class, like scanner ob equal to new scanner system dot in. And sometimes we want to check if this ob is object of scanner or not. Actually, students, we make program of very small size. Actually, we are just learning the programming. The actual programmers who write the programs, they make very large programs, and sometimes they want to check that this object belongs to that class or not. As they have many objects, many variables they have. So sometimes it is required to be checked the particular variable if it belongs to the same class. So when this type of condition occurs, so what they do, they check if OB instance of scanner like this. So if this OB will be the object of scalar, then it will return true, and if the OB is not the object of a scalar, then it will return false. It is used at this place. Okay? I hope it is clear to you all. So it is clear. Now come to the next, logical operator. In logical operator, we have ampersand or this is logical and this is logical or. Okay. Not is also counted as logical operator, but it is a unary operator. It is used only in a single condition. But these two are used in multiple conditions. So let's see. Suppose there are two variables, A is 2, B is 3, and C is 5. Okay. Now you want to check that if the value of A is less than B and if the value of A is less than C, with both you want to compare, then you can write like this: if A is less than B, okay, and A is less than C. You can't write like this: A is less than B less than C. No, this is wrong. Sometimes students make this mistake. This type of statement you can see in question, but you can't write the answer like this. They can give you question like this, okay, but in answer you will write A is less than B and A is less than C, because all relational operators are binary operators, so they work on two operands only. Okay, so A is less than B and A is less than C. So whatever output will come of this statement either will come true or it will come false. And the same thing happens with this. Either it will return true or it will return false. Thereafter, we will compare these two values, true or false, and here also true or false. We will get either one value. Now, these true or false will be compared, and then it will return a single true or single false. This is the thing. So, how it will take place? Let's see. If the first answer is X and second answer is Y, suppose, and I am doing AND operation, means X and Y. I'm supposing the whatever answer will come out, that is X, and from here whatever answer will come out, that is Y. So the possible combinations are either both will be false, or this will be false, this will be true, or this will be true, this will be false. All the cases both are true. First condition is maybe both are false. Second condition is first is false, second is true. Third condition can be is for X is true and Y is false. And the fourth condition can be both are true. Any other condition is not possible. Okay. So let's see what will be the answer. If the both are false, then false. If any one is false, then false. Only when both are true, here true and here true, both are true, then it will return a complete true. So when such conditions are there, when we want all conditions to be true, that time we use this logical AND operator. Okay, and when we want any one of them is true, any one of them should be true. Suppose I'm writing any other statement, writing it 12. Okay, or I'm writing if A is less than 12, A is less than B, or A is less than C. So what will be the answer? Answer will depend on if one condition is true or not. X or Y. Okay? Or I'm writing 2 only. A is less than 3 and A is less than 5. I'm writing it 1. Okay? If I would have used AND operator, then the answer would come false. But if I'm using OR operator, the answer will come true. Why? Because the first condition is true. Because A is less than B. 2 is less than 3. So this condition will give you 2 and A is less than C. This condition will give you false. But if any one of condition is true, then OR operator will return you true. If both are false, then it will also return false. If any one is true, then true, and if both are true, then it will also return true. I hope you understood well. And if there is only one condition, like I'm writing A is less than C, and you know very well the condition is false because the value of A is 2 and the value of C is 1. Condition is false. You know very well. But if I'm using not symbol before this, it will become not false and it will return you true. And if the condition is true and then you have used not symbol, then it will return you false. It will just change the condition. It will just change the answer. If the answer is true, it will make it false. If the answer is false, it will make it true. So simple. I hope you have understood. And now I'm moving to the next. If any student want to say anything, you can write your comment. Shivam, what you want to write and you are just retracting your message. Sir, it is not visible. What is not visible, beta? If A is less than C and I have made a not symbol. Now clear. Okay, good. So, it's alright. It has been discussed. Logical operators are over. Now let's move further and we will discuss assignment operators. Assignment operator, you know, very easy to understand. It is very easy. A equal to 2. So what this equal symbol is? This is assignment operator. But together this, I will tell you some more assignment operators. These are not only assignment operators, sometimes we call them shorthand operators. Like, suppose A equal to 2 and I am writing A plus equal to 2. So what is this plus equal to? This is also assignment operator and we call it shorthand operator. And what will be the effect of this operator? You just watch. It means that A equal to A plus 2. Listen carefully. Whenever you want to add the value in the same variable in which you want to assign the value. So, in such type of cases, we will write like this: a plus equal to 2. If you want to write a equal to a plus 2, then you can also use a plus equal to 2, and it will be easy for you to write, and it will be short for you in writing. Okay. In the same manner, this is not only operator. You can also use a minus equal to 2, and in the same manner, its meaning is a equal to a minus 2. In the same manner, a divided equal to 2, it means that a equal to a divided by 2. A multiply equal to 2, it means that a equal to a multiplied with 2. Are you getting it, students? And there are some more, but I will not discuss with you because in your syllabus only these arithmetic operators are given. Okay, shift operators are also there, but for shift operators I will make another video, and for bitwise, at least shift operators and bitwise operators works upon bits. Bits means for that you should know the binary part. You should know binary number. That's why. So first of all, I will discuss the binary number. Then after, I will discuss these operators and ternary operator also. Yeah. Now I will discuss the ternary operator, the most important operator which is used to ask in board exam, that I am going to discuss. Now, ternary operator. Is it visible to you? Ternary operator, as I have told you, in this operator we have three operands, and then we get our. Students, watch carefully, and students, don't forget to write your name and class in the comments. I will send it to the management. I will send it to the school for the report of today's attendance in the classroom. Okay? So don't forget. If you have not written your name and class till now, then mention it. Okay? Now let's see. Ternary operator. In ternary operator, we have the statement like this: condition is there. Thereafter, we put the question mark. Here we write the true part, then colon, and thereafter we write the false part. Okay, students? So this is the way we write the statement. Now let's see. The value of A is 2 and value of B is 3. Simple. We can use it for simple. We can use it at place of simple if statement. If we want to check one or two condition, like we can use this conditional operator also. We don't need to use if and else. We can use this conditional operator. Ternary operator is also known as conditional operator. Conditional, conditional operator. Okay, students, A equal to 2, B equal to 3. I'm writing A is less than B, question mark, A or B. Students, listen carefully. It will return some value over here, and or here only we should have a particular variable to hold these values. These values. To hold these values, we should have a variable of the same data type, of which data type these values are. Suppose these both are of integer type. Okay, and here we have integer values, then we should have an integer variable to hold the value. If we are returning true or false, then we should have a Boolean variable. Are you listening carefully? If you are writing here, it condition doesn't matter. Condition can be anything in any case in any statement of any data type. But I'm talking about the answers. I'm talking about the possible returning values. So these values of which data type, of the same data type, this variable should be. If here true or false, then this variable should be of Boolean type. If you are returning 2.5, 6.8, any number, then both values are of double type or float type, then you should have double as a data type. If you are returning values of character type like A or capital A, then the data type of X should be char. I hope you understood. And if you want to return string type of values like yes in double inverted comma and no in double inverted comma, then you should have the data type of this X is string. And students, always remember, whenever you write string, the S of string should be capital always. Whenever you write in any program on computer or on notebook, the S must be capital. Okay, students? So A is less than B. If you want to return the string value, if this condition will be true, then the first part will be returned, and if the condition will become false, then the second part will be returned. So simple. So A is less than B. Condition is true. So this yes will be returned and it will be holded in it will be held in X. And if I'm making it 12, then obviously this condition will become false and A is not less than B, then this will be returned and in X no will hold. Okay, I hope students it is clear to you all. Now the time is already over, only 10 minutes are left. So now I would like to see your comments, and if you have any problem then you tell me. Conditional operator is over. Now I have discussed all operators with you which are of your syllabus. Now only bitwise operator and shift operators are left, which are already I have told you now not in your syllabus, but still I will make a separate video for it and I will give it on my YouTube channel. So if you have any kind of problem, you can discuss it with me. Okay, students, thank you very much for being present over here. And if you have any problem, you can tell me on my WhatsApp. You can tell me on your class group, anywhere, wherever you want. And you can call me personally as well. You all have my contact number, and if you don't have, then I'm writing it over the board. Why I'm writing on the board? I could have given in the description also, but I will not give in description. If you have, if you want my number, then you must watch this video at least. 9358533665. Okay, students. I hope it is visible. Sahil Yadav, Aryan Yadav, when you came, now you are coming. Aman Mishra 10th day, and where were you earlier? Okay, students, have a wonderful day. Thank you.